What's up, addicts? You know what time of year it is. That's right, it's Sturgis rally time. And today's video, we're gonna take a trip down memory lane and go back and see some of the fantastic sights Hitch and I saw around Sturgis. So here's the deal. I have to start with a little bit of a backstory. Hitch and I had never been to Sturgis, but we had heard that the best thing to do is go there prior to the rally, about a week, and take in all the fantastic sights around Sturgis before the crowds show up. And that's what we did. We stayed in Deadwood for a couple of days, and of course we saw Iron Mountain Road, Needles Highway, Mount Rushmore, and of course we spent some time in Sturgis. But after a couple of days, Hitch and I were like, dude, we gotta see more than just this. Black Hills were beautiful, but we gotta get out. Let's put some miles on. So we decided we were gonna head out towards Red Lodge and the world famous Beartooth Pass. Hitch and I loved our time in Deadwood. What a great little town. Great places to eat, historic places to stay, and of course, epic people watching. But our time there had ended, and of course, we're headed to Red Lodge, Montana. Now, there's multiple ways that you can get to Red Lodge, Montana. You can take the interstates, and you could probably be there within 5 hours. However, the whole point of riding a motorcycle is to get out and enjoy the ride, to get off the beaten path and see the beauty that God has created. So of course, that's what we did. And our first stop was Spearfish Canyon Highway. Addicts, I was really impressed with the ride through Spearfish Canyon. Now, calling it a canyon? That is a stretch. However, following the Spearfish Creek, winding through the little mountain passes was amazing. I think this is one of the most underrated rides around Sturgis. Not that it doesn't get any accolades, but we all know Iron Mountain Road and Needles Highway definitely get all the hype. Not far from Spearfish Canyon is the infamous Devil's Tower National Monument. And we were presented once again with the choice, take the interstate or take the back roads. Which one do you think we chose? Are you joking? Of course we took the interstate. I'm kidding. We took Wyoming Highway 24 because it's always the back roads where you get the most scenic views. Addicts, I'm not gonna lie, it's been a minute since I got my geology merit badge in Boy Scouts, and I got no idea what the Devil's Tower is made of. It's not granite, it's something else. But I tell you what, it's quite a landmark. Now, I for one believe this is a natural phenomenon, but there are people out there that believe this monument, the Devil's Tower, was actually created or built by aliens. Now, I'm not a believer, but just think about that for a minute. It does look a little bit out of place here on this planet. Eventually, we had to get on the interstate to get from Devil's Tower to Sheraton. But outside of Sheraton, we hit Bighorn National Forest, or the Wyoming Highway 14, and wow, was that amazing. Both Apple and Google Maps did all they could to steer me far away from the Bighorn Mountains. I think they tried to redirect me for 30 minutes into the ride. Don't do it. This is such a beautiful ride and well worth the time and effort. And finally, we have reached the beautiful town, and I must say, the motorcycle haven of Red Lodge, Montana. Now it's time for some R&R. Morning, addicts. Today is our day off. It's laundry day and bath day for the Harleys. These things are so freaking dirty. As much as we try to keep them somewhat clean, there's so many bugs. It doesn't matter how many times you clean them off, they get covered in one day. Anyways, this is how real bikers spend their day off, prepping for the next day. Addicts, there he is, Hitch. He's paying someone to do his laundry today. That's the way he rolls. Me? I gotta do my own, like every other slouch in the world.
Gonna pay the bill, I'm gonna tip you.
Okay. So it's a game.
It's a game.
You're gonna get a tip of varying amounts. You gotta choose which hand. Just so you know, they're both
so bad at this.
They're both good tips. So either way, you win.
Okay. I have the worst luck in the world though.
No tip.
You pick a hand, what you want. This is going to be your tip. It's your lucky day, but you might get luckier than one or the other. That was a lucky one. That was two.
Yeah!
Oh my
Thank
God.
you. You're a good waitress.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys.
He has a
Now that was a much needed break from the Harleys. Addicts, if you're ever on a multi-day ride, let's say that extends beyond 5 days, you have to take a day off the bikes. I'm telling you, it's so worth it. Your body becomes refreshed and the rest of the ride is much more enjoyable. This morning, we are leaving Red Lodge, Montana, and we are headed to the world famous Beartooth Pass. Now, if you've never been to Beartooth Pass, I'm not sure you can call yourself a biker. You can say you ride motorcycles, but if you've never been to Beartooth Pass, you are not a biker. I know I'm going to take some hate for that comment, but I'm just trying to emphasize how awesome this ride is. I've rode the Beartooth, I believe, 3 times, and I could easily ride it every single year and never get tired of it. It's that epic. There are few places in the world that have combined small town vibes, well-paved roads, scenery, vistas, yes, there's a difference, elevation gain and losses, and of course twisties, as well as they have at Beartooth Pass. I'm telling you, if this is not on your bucket list, you may as well sell the Harley, because this road was made for motorcycles. Your reward for braving the heights and frankly the frigid temperatures of the Beartooth is passing through the beautiful town of Cook City, Montana, followed by entering Yellowstone National Park from the northeast entrance. Now, I'm not going to go on and on about Yellowstone National Park. We all know it's a destination ride and a must for bikers. So get there, get it on your list if you haven't been there. Everyone has heard about the bison in Yellowstone. I'm not gonna lie, I pulled aside and let Hitch go ahead of me because that bison, who I'm gonna call Brutus, actually tried to charge the vehicle that was a few hundred yards in front of us. I saw it, it freaked me out. I wanted nothing to do with this dude. You see that? He freaking looked at me. That is one mean mother. I love Yellowstone, but you do have to decide when to visit, because if you're there during peak season, it is extremely congested and basically bumper to bumper, and that's miserable. Now that Yellowstone is behind us, we have to make our way back to Sturgis, but not without riding through the Lewis and Clark National Forest. I missed this ride just a few years ago because I just didn't have the time, and I swore the next opportunity I had, I'd take it. So today's the day, and let me tell you, it was totally worth it. There's this little place in Lewiston called Central Feed Company. It's a restaurant and brewery inside a historic building. Very cool place. And I gotta tell you, the service was great, the food was delicious, and the desserts, phenomenal. Well, Addicts, I'm coming from you live in a hurricane here in North Dakota. Hitch wanted to ride in it, so we went ahead and rode in it. And now we're stuck trying to figure out how to get to our hotel 30 miles away. That's right though, Hitch and I, we are not fair weather riders. Addicts, I have to say, that was probably the best back-to-back days of riding I've ever planned. Such a beautiful trip with destination rides. Join us next week as we continue our discussion about Sturgis and give you the best things you can do in and around Sturgis so you can be prepared to make the most of Sturgis 2024. Until next time, live life at 100 miles per hour.